Hey people, I'd like to say happy Friday. I know I said I wouldn't upload a video until next week, but I'm just sending good luck to everybody because I have been gifted yet again with snakeskin. Now, if you have been subscribed to my channel since I believe it was like June 2014, I met somebody who near where I was doing readings, and I literally shared in the video. I had a live video recorded, and I was doing a reading. I was in a reading in my community, in the community listing that I'm part of, and you know what, while I talk, I'm going to get some sage going on here. This is a candle, it's a red candle. Whatever, I'll leave it. And please don't mind this table, it's been butchered up because I have candle wax everywhere. I use candles almost every day. So anyway, as I was saying, I was in a reading. And after the reading, I closed off the reading because what I do is, there's so many different types of ways on understanding so many different styles of reading. I mean, I myself can give multiple different types of readings. So, for example, most of my readings that I do, like for example, the ones that are $130, the one that is, an hour and a little bit over, those readings always start off with a prayer and always end with an intention, a very positive intention to lock and to seal and to protect your aura, okay, and so that when you leave the reading, or, even if it's online, that you take with you that interlocking of, protection, guidance of that light, because I work with white light. I don't work with indigo light. I work with the highest frequency, and it's the white light, okay? So to be protected by that white light is extremely potent, and so that is what I work with. That is what I invoke for my clients. So for example, other types of readings like cartomancy, depending on the situation, because I am going on a time-based thing, which is not a problem, but when I do read those cartomancy cards, I'm just kind of looking into the situation of something that you've asked me. Okay, so most of my other readings, I combine healing and the reading together. So it's a form of Akashic records that I'm really reading. Like I said, some people, they go through these definitions and stuff like that. But it's a form of opening the Akashic record and closing the Akashic record and healing something that had been really tampered with, or burnt or hurt or traumatized in your Akashic records, okay? Okay, so get into our snakeskin. So I had, after that, we did something together, me and my client, and we realized that we had a connection, a bond for many lives prior, because she was picking up on stuff too. And she asked me, "What are you seeing?" And I said, "I see a snake, a protection snake." So we left. I ended up leaving. I needed a break. I sat outside, started journaling things down, and so many people witnessed this. And there was a video, like I said, even my client and whatnot, she was there, and here comes this young man, redhead, walking, which I had never seen before, especially in the area, wearing a 777 jersey. Okay, and I had this recorded. It was right on my YouTube channel, if you can remember it. And he had a python named Shredder. He told me he named it Shredder because I asked him, around his neck. And so I'm feeling it up. Other ladies are feeling it up and recording. I was recording the whole thing, and he's like, "Oh, you're going to show this to all your friends, sweetie, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah." Anyways, so there's a tradition, a cultural tradition, whether it's in India, whether it's in the Indo-European cultures or the Middle Eastern cultures. It could be also in Africa as well, where it's believed that if you ever get your hands on shedded snakeskin, it brings you financial luck and luck overall. Okay, because as you know, snakes, yes, they are venomous, they have venom, they are poisonous. However, they're also the most healing and therapeutic being, okay? So, I have my hands on another one, and I put it in this lovely, cute red pouch. The lighting is not very good in here, and it's got moons and stars on it. I'm getting a new camera, it's on the way. So, you can't really see it because it's clear now. I don't know if I don't want to get it out of the bag. It kind of looks plasticky. I've got some reptilian skin here, people. So I'm going to keep it in the bag. Do you see that? Oh, some of you are probably like, "Oh, that's disgusting. What is she doing with that?" I'm sharing this because I want you to embrace in this good luck, okay? 2016 is on its way, guys, okay? And it symbolizes number 9 in numerology, the end, the grandfather of all the numbers, experiences, the end of everything you've ever experienced that no longer serves you, so, and then, you begin anew, of course, but during the holiday seasons, whether you celebrate Yule, Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever, okay, or just whatever it is that you celebrate, okay, and you're homeless, or you're hungry, or, you've had a fallout with your family and your friends, and you're lonely. For those of you, I really want you to embrace in this snake luck. Really, truly welcome it into your heart. Snakes, I don't know what this is all about. Maybe from the camera. Snakes scare a lot of people, and for those of you who live in fear, it's not for you, and it will probably never be for you because you're not internally doing the work. But for those of you who face their fears, I want you to really embrace this luck, welcome it into your heart, into your home, into your house, into your life, into your friendships, into your love life, into your careers, and accept it so that everything moves forward for you, and yeah. So I have it on my altar, and my dragon Baphomet candlestick holder holds onto it. Let me show ya. So what I'm doing is don't you love the statue? I love. Looks like my tattoo. So I just, he's holding on to it for me. It's nice. It's nice. He's like, "I got it." So, other than that, I think I have some other things to talk about. Apparently, oh, and another thing I want to mention about the snake skin is that when it comes to snakes, snakes, cobras in particular, serpents, naga, dragons are, my totems, power animals, spirit protectors, guides, guardians. They are the type of force or entity that they will make you work, okay? They will make you work very hard. But when you do work, and you do it in the most compassionate, understanding. And when I say compassionate, I mean, community work and such things as that. Some of the things that I've done that involve community work, I've been paid for, and some have been voluntary, okay? Now, if you do either or both, it's not wrong. You deserve to be paid. But in certain circumstances, like I said, I've volunteered. I've faced extreme, hard, structural police officers, okay, that go by this very solid, unbreakable system. That even if you are innocent or somebody else is innocent, or if it's in the structure, they get into big shits and they don't, So, I've had to face this. I've done it. You have no idea what I've been doing behind closed doors in the last how many years. Me coming from a background of crucifixions, being burnt, governmental beheadings. That's in my ancestry. Again, if you've been subscribed to me in the last few years, I've shared them. What happened to my father and why he had to go through what he did 5 years ago, which is coming up, his death, December 7, 2010. Today's the 4th. So I love you, Dad. This candle is here for him. I'm eating an orange. I've had to release karmic, whether it's a fear, whether it's an issue, whether it's a dent on my father's part and myself and my family. Okay? It's in the ancestry. Who had to pay it off, who was willing to pay it off, I was. So that it never has to repeat itself again. Well, again, it's not easy, right? So, I felt fear and I did it anyway. Groups and groups of police officers, as well as detectives, were in a state of shock and awe how I have absolutely no fear. And the police officer told me in my face, he said, "You have no fear." Again, there's videos of me that has been passed to the government, videos of me detectives have, things that involve behind closed door rapes, which they know about, right? Come on. Do you know how many Native Canadians, Native Indians are missing every year? Every year, hundreds. Every single year. Whether it's from Prairie Sound or wherever, Who kidnaps them? Where are they going? And why is it being kept a secret? Or, all those skulls found underground in the subways. Who is doing this? Which I'm going to leave it to you because I'm sure you know by now. And they know and I know. And I brought it out to the core. So I have really, truly exposed myself. And so that's a very big risk, right? Because what does that mean? Right? That the government totally can do whatever they want and get away with it with. But rest assured, I am very empowered with, and like I said, the police officers were like, I have never met anybody, that, and they know I'm a shaman, they know, and he told me, a few of them told me, he's like, I have seen so much as a police officer, as a detective, suicides, blood everywhere, heads cut off, fathers and children killing each other. He goes, but I will never forget you, and I will never forget this situation, because it's just completely different. It's just, you have no fear. And I think everything I told him that's going to happen has already begun, Some of these women or people in these organizations, there's organizations like women's organizations, children's organizations, which I got involved in. I told them what's going to happen within the next year. And some of the stuff that I said was last year, some was before. So last year was around September, October. And, some of them thought I was crazy. Or who do I think I am that I'm gonna, cause changes for, Meanwhile, if you go and look at 360 Kids, we've manifested, the government to support over $1 million. And so early next year, 2016, there's going to be a building where, these youth have a home. And it's beautiful, it looks like a brand new apartment, condo, luxury, where they'll be able to work and get paid, and they find jobs for you, and really get in there and listen to these kids. So I did tell them, about what's going on, and such things like that, this stuff in the Middle East, and how they're going to come here, and they're like, oh no, the organization people, not the detectives. The detective knew exactly what I was talking about. Oh yeah, right? They know, and there was a few of them, okay? So, and these people, like I said, there's an hour-long video, actually like 2 or 3 hour-long videos of me sent up to the government, what's to come, what's happened, what's to come, what their intentions are, what's happening, okay? Because a lot of the Canadian government, knowingly and unknowingly, because you got to take it with a grain of salt and know that there's good guys and bad guys, good guys and bad guys, in every organization, in the government, wherever, okay? So whatever it is that I've done in the government, I willingly went in there to kind of direct certain things, move certain things, and to make it come to fruition in the greatest light for people, okay? And risk all this stuff. So, I don't want to get into what it is that I talked about. Like I said, each one was over an hour. But let's make it short. Child abductions, prostitutions in the name of cultural advancements, okay? Religious abuse. Mind you, I was invited by one of the world-known rabbis. He lives here in Canada, Thornhill. Very well-known Orthodox Jew, okay? And these guys do not just invite anybody, okay? He invited me to his house. I sat down on the dinner table with his wife. That is serious, okay? That is serious. Rabbis do not just invite anybody. Again, I'm not going to get into real deep discussions. If I'm close to somebody, then, I expose certain things, but, however, it's not very important right now. I just want you to get a vibe of what I'm trying to get at. And what I'm saying is, it's already manifested. And so I just gave them encouragement on who to welcome and accept. Now, 2/3, now again, going back to those organizations of the women and the child, I was mocked by about two or three people, okay, and I'm saying severely mocked. One of them was a male in his 50s. One of them was a female in her late 30s, early 40s, and so on. And after they saw everything that's coming to life, they were in a state of shock. They all called me up and said, "Oh my God, we are so sorry that we doubted this," Because coming from organizations and governmental stuff where obviously there's all this structure, okay, they are victims, okay? They will teach you that people are victims, but in truth and reality is when you're going by this pyramid, when the top person is only benefiting, which they don't even know anything about, they're not allowed to know, because they're here. Whether they're police officers, organization type of stuff, they have to go through this structure, and they're not allowed to question it, otherwise they get fired, okay? So it's kind of like a society of which you are being told that you are this. You are being taught that the world is circular. It's a globe around, You believe it. So this is why I will say that people who work for the government are truly victims. So those who are really working to change certain things are real solid freedom fighters, okay? And a lot of them leave, a lot of them do their own thing, and then a lot of them end up staying and really just work their asses off to change certain things for the youth and the coming generations to come. So there's a lot I can talk about in terms of how this country states it's for women and children, when women are even considered as prostitutes here. It's so bad. Women who go through abuse, okay, they don't even have a place to stay, and there's shelters everywhere. They cannot open their doors to shelters because it's so, and a lot of rape, sexual assault reports never get looked at. It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous, and it's not. The only thing that is really free for women here is that if you have a child, the government will support you financially, a few $100s a month, okay? Or, they'll fund you, stuff like that. But in terms of single women and... Anyways, so... it's already coming out about, and again, like I said, I talked about my family, I talked about lots of stuff, my experiences, genocidal survivors, and all that. And so the gates, and when I say gates, I mean the border doors of opening them for these immigrants coming from from its Middle East, Europe, wherever. 2/3 of them are Armenian. So 2/3. There are some people that have mistaken that they're all Muslim. People that live in the Middle East are not all Muslim. Just like people who live in North America are not all Christian. They're not all white. They're not all native. 200 years ago, everybody that lived in North America was native. And then they became white. And now they're multicultural. You'll find Asians. You'll find Africans, Jamaicans, the list goes on. Culture constantly changes. Race constantly advances. You know how it is. So, 2/3 are Armenian, okay? And there's an embassy that is opening up in Toronto, a new embassy, an Armenian embassy, and they're already, before, when the Armenians would march and have April 24, 1915 Armenian genocide marches, they would go with buses from the Armenian Community Center and travel to Ottawa, but to the Turkish embassy. So, now I don't have 100% facts about the embassy, but there are people that have told me that they're working on it and it's happening. Last minute things can always happen where it doesn't happen, stuff like that. But I am speaking in terms of what I've been told. But yes, in terms of who's immigrating here, 2/3 of them are Armenian. Okay, and again, that has to do with a lot of what I've told them, because I've had very big connections with people in the government and people who do care. A lot of them don't care, but the ones who do care really, truly, have worked their butts off for what's to happen. And, yeah. Another thing I want to touch base on before I close this camera is, for my cartomancy cards, if I say, like my last how many videos, I'm not sick, it's itchy. I think I had too much coffee and it kind of dries up my throat sometimes, but, if I'm talking about self-empowerment and how don't go by definitions of twin flames, again, I truly believe in marriage, okay, but I believe in knowing yourself first so that you marry the correct partner, okay? Nobody's perfect. Hell, I'm not perfect, and I'm sure the person that you end up with, or whoever or whatever, is not going to be 100% perfect. But when you know yourself, you know what I mean? So, and so, if and when I do readings, like cartomancy readings, like the last one that I put up with the code number 1144, if I see in the reading a marriage, okay, then that is what I see. However, I will never tell you to end up marrying someone. I will never tell you to do something just because I see it in the cards or I see it in your auric field, energetic field. However, if someone is coming to me for guidance and is paying me for guidance, I am going to tell them what I am seeing, okay? This person can respond to me, send me an email, send me a message, and tell me whether it was relevant or not, whether it fit them or not. That is completely up to them. However, if I see something, I am going to say it, okay? Another thing is that not everybody's meant to get married, okay? Some people who are dying and obsessed with marriage are not meant to get married. And some people who don't really care about marriage end up getting married. The cards are there for them. Cards when I mean like fate, destiny, and whatnot. I myself have questioned the definition of fate and destiny because when I was really young, I used to believe that, destiny has been laid out for you prior to incarnation. But then as I got older, I realized you create your own fate. But then, on top of that is you can take a path and take a path and take a path, and, that can alter the next path and that can alter your next stages in life. However, there is always that one big destiny that you really do not have your hands in terms of controlling, okay? Or I wouldn't want to say choice because we do always have a choice, but all you're really doing is stalling more time and taking another route to your ultimate destination, okay? So that is what I saw with the 1144 code. So if you're a viewer and you're not having it because you may think, what is this contradiction that she just said? The earlier videos, she's talking about you don't have to get married, you don't give your power away. That person who came for a reading is not the type of person that gives their power away. I see it. I feel it. Okay? The video that I made about don't give your power away and about women being raped, the divine feminine being raped, is take care of yourself first. Okay? please. So, again, please don't have a judgment or a mix-up of what I am here about, saying something and doing another for another. Clearly, then, my word, my guidance, my path is not for you. Going back to Armenia and the Divine Feminine, or the Divine Feminine and Red Earth Goddess video that I put up, I did state not a lot of people are going to make it in terms of really finding themselves and going through ascension, because it's a lot of an inner work. Okay? Ascension is a lot of inner work. I myself have done it. I did it 2012, 2013, 2012. I went up and then I dropped because of a lot of circumstances that went through. My mom had a stroke. I was, basically almost sexually assaulted by basically even going through that by her so-called boyfriend, which was a fake. So I had to stall taking care of myself so I can take care of everything else. So it led me to go through the Ascension 2013. And during that process, I went through hell. I was being attacked again. I was being attacked by religious fanatics, rapists, Zionist groups, Christian groups, even occult groups, Islamic groups, people threatening me. On top of that, I'm being threatened by my mother who just had a stroke, my family. I'm being pushed out of my home, forced out of my home, homeless almost, starving, and it's all a test of faith. It's all a test of, is this what you're truly, want in life? Are you willing to work hard for it? There was a lady who was totally obsessed with me, and she had, a blood disease, and she was like advanced in the occult, and she was transferring her disease into my body. And in 2013, after my ascension, I showed what had happened to my foot. I have a scar, I have a mark on my foot, it's still there. I don't know if you guys want to see it, if I should show it right now. I don't even think you could be able to see it in the dark, but it's there, and it'll be there for the rest of my life, okay? And I removed this. I did an 8-hour Reiki session with harmonics to remove it, and I had no fear, and it's gone, but I have a mark. So I just want you to know, and people had no idea, because I looked like this bubbly, happy-go-lucky, very high energy person, which is what supported me in going through this ascension. And you got to take care of your health. You got to eat right, move, sleep good. You got to work on anger and resentment, okay? I had absolutely no anger at that time. It was gone. It was dissolved, and to this day, I'm not an angry person. However, I do get upset. I will boil up certain times and circumstances. However, I do take a lot. I can take a lot until it goes and slightly boils up and explodes. But I don't have anger issues. I don't have anger problems. Okay, so there's a difference between the two. I don't know how I'm going to show you my foot. If the lighting is even... Oh my god. Hold on a second. This is funny. Yeah, you're not going to be able to see it, but do you see the mark? Hold on a second. You can see right here, that's my scar for the rest of my life. She was transferring me cancer. No lie. Okay, so I'm a shaman. Probably one of the best shamans you'll ever encounter. Yeah. Alright, so shamanism is the way for me. It will always be the way for me. First and foremost, okay, I can't get away from this life. I can't get away from my inherited powers. I cannot get away from what the world has to send me. It is all about taking responsibility with my gifts, okay, and my skills, or whatever it is that you want to call it. So, let's end this with just accepting the good luck of the snake and Obviously, all this hard work that I've been through, my power totems, my snake, serpent, cobra, has gifted me this snake skin, okay? Because it takes responsibility. They want to see you work. But in the end, it will be well worth it, okay? Sometimes we get blinded and we don't see what it is that we've accomplished because it's taking so long, or that it's just so isolated and cold and lonely and painful, and nobody understands you, because nobody understood me. Nobody understood me. And it's coming up, guys, okay? So love, more love, and lots of white light. Lots of gold white light, okay? See ya.